Hi, I'm Peter from Coffee Parts, and today we're looking at the Crema Pro range with founder Manfred Jokuszies. First things first, Manfred, thank you for coming on.
Welcome.
Now, Crema Pro, actually, as it started, Compact Designs, actually came about in 2003. And I believe you first met my dad in Coffee Parts in 2004. So it's been a journey. And it started with the 175 knocking tube, is that right?
That's correct. Came onto the, it arrived at our home in a pallet in November 2003, and I started actively selling it January 2004, and it was I was really I had an uphill battle, trying to get coffee companies, coffee roasters, to buy our product, because everyone said to me, no, there's no call for it, there's no interest in it, and there's no demand for it. And I said, but you're selling a coffee machine. When you sell a coffee machine, you have to get rid of the dispose of the coffee ground. And the reason why the idea came about, in 2002, we bought our first coffee machine at home, and we managed to damage the filter basket by using a knife or teaspoon to scrape the coffee cake out, and it caused the filter basket to get damaged. To buy a new filter basket was then $20, and so I said to my wife, Claire, I'm going to build something which will hopefully protect the filter basket.
So now that we're going down memory lane, I thought I'd bring something out really special. Your original knocking tube that you built for your wife to have at home so she wouldn't scrub out the filter basket and be able to knock it out. And this was built basically with plumbing supplies.
Yes, one sleeve and one, I believe, 100mm pipe. And I cut the mouth out, I drilled holes, and purchased a stainless steel rod. And these rubber sleeve and the rubber gasket were car parts.
And now looking at this, you can obviously see the resemblance to the first product, which was the 175 knocking tube. And you can see the resemblance to the smaller 110 knocking tube that came down the line. I think what's cooler is when you built this, I don't think you had an idea at the time that this was going to turn into the business that it became.
I had absolutely no idea. I had no vision for that. It was just basically speaking to solve our problem.
I remember back then I was probably 13, 14 years old, and my dad had the business. And I remember, now we're probably talking close to 2004, 2005. As they evolved, we were getting these in multiple colors. And as a kid, I was stacking them in the warehouse, for my dad to obviously sell. And you'd still be going to cafes at the time, and you were still seeing the ugly white down pipes that they were using before knocking tubes became what they are today, the floor standing, the in-bench ones and that, which you kind of carry and have one of the first to, I believe this one was even patented at the time.
That was design registered.
Yeah.
And we were definitely the first one on the Australian and international market.
Yeah.
Because when we made our first export to New Zealand in 2004. In 2005, we made our first delivery to the UK.
Yeah.
And our customer in the UK then sold our product to Harrods.
Yeah.
And our Swedish customer, the Swedish guy, which became our customer, went to Harrods to check up to see what Harrods had on offer.
Yep.
They had the biggest range of coffee machines.
Yep.
And he found our knock tube. And with that, he found our website.
Yeah.
And he contacted us, and he became
the distributor.
Our distributor for Sweden. But in Australia, as a whole, in the beginning, it was really very, very difficult to get us going.
So Manfred, although the range started with the knocking tubes, it's now really evolved and you cover the whole range from home to commercial. So with the knocking tubes on the home, you've got the 110 and the 175, and commercially you've got the floor standing and the two different in-bench ones.
Yes.
But then moving along, we've got everything from the milk jugs to the thermometers. The thermometers are interesting because they come with the two different methods. So either the sleeve or the clip. The clip has a calibration tool, and you've got the markings at 60 to 70 for the ideal temperature to cut it off. You got the shot glass, and now this is for calibrating your machine to make sure you're using a timer. You've got your 30 and 60 mil.
Exactly.
So that's become a staple, I think, in cafes and homes, as more and more people are now using scales and timers.
Exactly.
You got the chocolate shaker. Now this chocolate shaker is my favorite. It really is awesome. It connects so well.
The good thing about this cocoa shaker is, and the design, because it's a plastic body with a stainless steel lid, in a commercial environment, in a cafe or restaurant, when you use a stainless steel cocoa shaker, after a day or so, it's very hard to actually get the lid off, because it seems to be almost fused to the body, where this one, never ever will you have any problems. You've got absolutely no problem getting the lid off the actual body. Okay. And that's a complete plus. And
a common thing, because they come in multiple colors.
Yes.
We do have customers buying for cocoa and then things like for cinnamon and that.
Yes.
And it can easy to differentiate. With the stainless ones, it makes it a little bit harder to differentiate between the two.
But even there are stainless steel cocoa shakers out in different colors. Yeah. You still face the same problem, when with the steel on steel.
Yeah.
And for some reason or the other, cocoa always seems to fuse the two things together.
You got the dosing cup,
which
has become very common these days. People are grinding into dosing cups, weighing them and transferring it into the portafilter.
Yes.
The group head brush to clean the group head, and it's got the grills in here, so when the water runs down, it doesn't run down your fingers.
Exactly.
With a nice angle on it. You got the tamping mats. They come in 3 different variants.
Yes, correct.
2 flats and 1 overhang.
Yes.
And probably the most popular part, the 58mm tampers, once again, the 4 colorways.
Yes.
And a simple thing, but something that's super popular, the cloths. They come in the black and grey.
They come in black and grey. We've 4 different packs, single pack for a commercial knock tube or commercial environment, which has got a barista, it's got a carabiner hook and eyelet.
Yep.
The 4-pack towels, 300 by 300, 2 black and 2 grey. The 2-pack towels, which is 600 by 300 and 400 by 400, again for a commercial environment. Yep. And in black and grey, we come away from the brown and blue because, it's
classier.
No, it also makes it a lot easier to when it comes to reordering, that, you're not ordering too many of one colour, and so we can order black and grey and then all different sizes. And the 10-pack towel, which has really proven to be very popular with our customers. Yeah. And they come with 5 black with eyelet and hook, and 5 grey, no eyelet and hook, just for cleaning.
Yeah, with the black being for the coffee and the grey being.
And they're 400 by 400.
Yeah.
So they're really, and they're all high-end microfiber cloth.
And all these products can be used at home or commercially?
Absolutely. We have got these at home, and they're fantastic for cleaning glass, for cleaning steel, stainless steel, mirrors. It's just.
I feel like we use it at the shop for everything, actually.
Well, we use ours at home for everything too.
And that's the range. It's pretty cool to see that all this evolved from a few bits of plastic from the hardware.
Yeah, that's right.
Manfred, thank you for coming on. It's been awesome to look at the original knocking tube that created the company that now is Crema Pro, and just almost a memory lane when we were talking before of the journey that it was not only with Crema Pro, but coffee parts and
Yes.
me and my father.
Wonderful. Yeah, wonderful.
So it's
It's been a wonderful experience. And thank you for inviting me to come on.
You're welcome. And if you've got any questions for Manfred or myself on any of the range, let me know in the comments below. And like always, if this video has brought you value, hit that thumbs up. If you haven't yet, please subscribe. Thank you and see you on the next video.
Thank you.